Okay, good. Yeah, I love that. Love it.
Would you consider?
I'm tired now. I need stuff like yeah, there will do the voice of residence on the agenda for. Right. Working.
Oh, that's all right.
Well, that's not for now.
Right, till the next time.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Small one.
the guy, you don't take up a lot of room.
Unfortunately.
I've been that size since I was 12. I don't remember being 12 months.
It was a good year. It was a
Could
good year.
have been.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, that's us being sort of out. So I've been to the beer. No. There was it was the
I said.
yeah, that was all in December, I think.
How are you? You've got to stop eating all these meetings. How are you?
How are
You
you?
grew too long, taller.
Yeah, got a little grayer too.
No kidding. It happens to all of us.
Yeah.
We have to wait for Mr. Thompson simply because he is open bids first. So I apologize for a delay. Just have to wait for him to get here, and that's the only reason.
Yeah.
We get to the minutes. Usually portray somewhere.
Portray somebody.
Say it right.
What you think about that? Talk to Jim or Henry. I would do it. Some theater background.
Waiting for John.
Some theater. I need something else to do, but.
That's what I'm told.
So much.
We can please, meeting would begin at 6:01. If you can stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we'll begin with the opening of our bids for the sick.
Looks like we have 3 bids. The first one is for Marcus Cole Construction. material is 7,000 tons of DSA, state certified, delivered to the township yard. It's $21.50 per ton. The full calculation, $150,500. Looks like everything is perfect.
They also provided a sample of material.
Has anyone had a chance to look at that? Next one is from Johnson Quarries. It is also appears to be complete. For the 7,000 tons of DSA, also delivered to the township yard, PA state certified, $25 per ton, $175,000 total.
What's that number again?
175,000. 25. And lastly, stagecoach crushing at Wyalusing. Got a price of $12 per ton at the plant, or $26 a ton delivered. The associated cost at the plant, $84,000. The total expense to be delivered, $182,000.
Do they have to lower some of those plant price?
They're the only ones that provided a per plant price. The other two only.
How many trucks does the road department have to pass inspection? Basically. Or can't?
Yeah, I know. Four, I have one that still has crack in the frame. They're all 90
That's the one
days.
that rolled up around?
It's the one that had the frame replaced 10 years ago.
So truck 4, truck 5, no pass inspection? 7?
It's just 74.
7. Frames are rusted out.
Is that so?
Frames are rusted out.
Yeah, 7, it's rusted and thinned out.
Any other discussion? Do I have a motion?
Marcus Cole comes in for 155, which is the lowest. Second is Johnson Quarries, and then Stagecoach and Rose's.
Right.
Resolution. motion that we go with Marcus Cole Construction. For the 150, 500, and do this to include the F-15. Excuse me, could y'all speak up a little bit? We're not, the air conditioners.
If that's where they're,
Can you turn the air conditioner on?
if that's where they're gonna be funding from, that needs to be part of it.
That was where we had budgeted out of, is that correct? So that's, and then we get the money back to it too. So,
They listen to confirm.
Okay.
alright, so Bonnie's motion was for the awarding of the bid to Good Marcus Cole with Act 13 funds.
All 13 funds, so you're making a resolution?
Mhm.
Okay. So, my suggestion was going to be to make a resolution from the general fund to reallocate the health insurance funds that were over allocated for the year. And in addition to cut possibly 2 line items in the liquid fuels fund in half, one of them being the major equipment purchases and repair parts. They're both at $40,000 each, so that's 40,000 they're cut in half. And then we have left over in funds of roughly $107,000 that was allocated to the highway maintenance labor that we can also put into the general fund. Because as of right now, I am seeing roughly $120,000 between all three departments that were over allocated based on new hires that I'll say weren't used, and then potential current positions that are held on public works that were down 2 people, but I also allocated if we were to hire on 2 additional, probably wouldn't be until October-ish or if not early September if possible. So we have those funds to use between liquid fuels for different line items and then the general fund as well.
Okay, so that would just have to be denoted in
Yeah.
the resolution, correct?
Or you can use that Christmas funds. It's totally up to you.
We had budgeted it from Act 13. And we have that in Act 13, correct?
It was never budgeted for that 13.
Oh, I thought that it,
The first round was used, the first round used Act 13.
so this round was not budgeted from Act 13. So you're saying that you want us to reallocate the healthcare and the liquid fuels money to general fund to be
Yes.
used for this?
Yes.
So for it to not come from Act 13?
Yes.
So we're gonna pay for this out of the general fund?
No.
Am I understanding that correctly?
No.
Okay, we're gonna pay for it out of Act 13?
Liquid fuels.
Why are we paying for it out of liquid fuel?
State money.
Why are we buying why are we buying state certified equipment? It's twice as much
Why are you
money.
looking at me?
What's that?
Why are you looking at me asking me this?
I'm asking everybody.
Well, we've
Why
answered
do we
that question.
continue to do this?
Why do you keep asking the same question? Every meeting you ask the same
Because
question.
I'm the only one in the room that has any qualifications.
Hey, I forgot.
Ask
So,
Mr. Cole if this is how they send samples for state approved material.
Paul, if we would like to get money from the state, we need to buy state approved materials. This is now the 6th time I've said this to you. If we would like to get money from the state, we need to buy state approved materials. I would like to get state money so that we can have money from the state that will pay for some of the things that we're purchasing. Personally, I'll take free money from the state.
That's
I'd
all they gotta
rather
say is
spend
free.
$14,000 than $7,000 if I get $20,000 from the state.
You don't need to buy state approved, Rob.
Okay,
You
thanks for
get
your.
twice as much.
Is pavement PennDOT certified? The asphalt that comes out of the plants that we put on
Has to
roads?
be. If it's
Okay.
going on a state highway, it has to be, yes.
So
But I mean,
Bob,
if
would
it's,
you
if
like
it's
to
going on
amend that?
Westbrook, does it need to
They're
be?
throwing it down on Westbrook Street, no, they're using cold
Yes,
patch,
but we're
which they should be
using
using, it's
liquid
minus
fuels.
anyway.
No, I mean as pavement.
So the money would then
When
come
we
from
pave the roads,
Yes.
you know, nine and a half millimeter, as you talked about, is that material from the plant spend out certified?
I think it is, Mike, I'd have to.
I think because
Why are they talking?
that liquid fuels can be spent on those, because Athens Borough has
Exactly.
13 miles
There's
of
no
road.
reason to be spending,
And Athens Borough has no dirt roads,
And
yet we spend our liquid fuels on
Mason,
paved roads.
you
we have
would like
33 miles.
us to reallocate the healthcare
Yes, sir.
extra and
Is the
the
substrate
fuel extra,
state
correct?
qualified material? Is the
You would like
ground
us to
that we're
move
putting
the
this
healthcare and liquid fuels extra into
Yeah.
material
general.
on, does that meet
So we'll have to do that in
standards
this
before you put the material down? I guess I'm trying to.
are you asking?
Or we can.
I'm
I'm asking if the road conditions meet the qualifications that state would require for that material.
Okay,
Excuse me,
time-
I'm
time
sorry,
out,
I can't
time out
hear
here.
what's
We've
happening
got-
and I
we're-
can't write it
We've got
down.
a
8 minutes.
motion on the table that we need to amend.
Sorry.
This meeting is for the Board of Supervisors to take care of the business at hand on the agenda.
Sorry.
Thank you.
So
All right.
Bonnie's amended her motion for the money to come from liquid fuels. And you need us to,
Unless you guys just want to use the material, we might have to make a resolution that.
He's giving you the option.
And at 13 funds, it would be
Unless it's
easier
unanimous,
and less for
nothing is gonna
less
be
constraint,
decided.
but there's providing more options.
So, why are we having these side conversations?
so what would you like to do?
All right, so Mason, our options are
To,
Act 13,
yes,
liquid fuels.
yes, which basically transitioning the liquid fuels funds that were being used for the labor for highway maintenance and putting it into the general fund. And then using the liquid fuels for the material, for DSA.
But you're saying it would be easier to just do it out of Act 13.
Yes. Because all you're doing is make a resolution to use the available funds and do an line item for the DSA material.
I'm gonna make a motion to use the Act 13 funds for Marcus Toll Construction for the $150,500 per resolution. 7,000 tons, state certified, DSA delivered.
Okay. That's the motion.
That's the motion.
I'll second. All in favor? Aye.
Absolutely not.
What's your opposition? I have to note it in the minutes, I need to know.
We don't need state approved gravel, we're paying twice as much as we need to. We have a fiduciary responsibility to taxpayers of this township. This is a waste of money.
Okay, motion passed.
No,
Yeah.
you need
we
a
have-
quorum of
We
3.
do have quorum. We
You
have
do
3.
not. You have a 5-person board, 3 is a quorum.
I think that is correct.
It is absolutely correct.
So we have 3 of us here.
And one said no.
Vote on this.
No.
So the only way we can pass anything is if all 3 of us say yes.
That is correct.
So, I don't understand the point of this. Okay, then we'll have to table this to the next meeting.
So by tabling
Correct.
this, what is going to take place? Because if we table this, you're not gonna get your material that you need to do
Correct.
roads.
We won't be able to do anything.
So I just want the residents to know this, that if we're not passing this, we will not be able to do any roads. We will not have the material if we have to wait and do this.
We'll call a special meeting when you have all your members.
Or you can go back to 2 months, two meetings a month, that would be easy.
That's what I'm saying. We aren't gonna be able to do anything this meeting today.
This will have to be, well, you'll have to approve it to be re-advertised. You have to formally reject all the bids and have to, right, re-advertise if they're gonna do any material for the next round, right? Cause you have to reject all the bids,
I'm gonna go through the process again.
start over.
Correct,
And it's advertising.
correct.
So there's monies on top of that to advertise again.
Or you could have
You
a
also
second
look
meeting
at
in the
it as a
month.
savings of $180,000 we didn't need to spend. Because if we don't work on the
Motion
roads
to be
this
made
month,
for
it
that.
ain't gonna be any different in the last decade.
How do they make a motion to reject all, that formally reject all of them?
I think
rebid.
you should
Because
do
it
that,
was not-
because you don't have a quorum.
Sufficient amount of votes.
Were any of the
So
bids
what
not
visits
VSA
can
or were
we-
they all for
what visits
VSA?
can we- What visits? What line items can we do that doesn't require a motion tonight? That we can.
Can we finish this one?
Yeah.
We have to formally
All right,
make a
so
motion to reject them all because there's.
I would request that I'll make that motion because he's on this.
Make a motion
To reject
to
the
reject
bids.
the bid.
Yes.
That's Paul's motion.
Yeah,
And to re-advertise for the next meeting?
I guess you'll have to. Why are we buying state approved gravel?
Say it, not me. Could you state that, please, and not just, but you state what the motion is? Because right now, I'm saying
The
it.
motion is to reject the bid,
And
then you'll have to rebid it.
For,
But I would not buy state approved gravel. If you want me to vote yes, stop buying state approved gravel. I'm getting tired of explaining.
when do you want the bids to be due? Paul?
What's the normal procedure, 30 days,
Yeah.
2 weeks,
can't do it in 2 weeks, you have to have
30
it
days,
advertised.
so whatever we normally do.
So it would be a month. I guess that's kind of a
Obviously.
August. So it already is August. Paul's motion, do I have a second?
Don't have a choice yet.
Sabani second. All in favor?
How many state approved
Aye.
threes have been
Any
thrown in the
opposed?
ditch so far?
No, no. And I
Motion
do
passes.
want it noted that, this is, we're gonna be without material, so the residents are aware of that, that needs to be in the minutes.
All right, so now, before we move on to the voice of the residents, we need to take a look and see what we're actually going to be able to. Can you just tell me what I need to star for what we can't do?
You can do everything because you don't know how Paul's gonna vote, do you?
You know what, Mike?
Mike?
I don't really need information from you. Thank you.
I'm sure you don't.
That's
but
ridiculously rude.
Yes or no?
You got it anyway.
You know what?
I'm not in third grade.
It's gonna be what it is. I
I
didn't call the newspaper and say that I wasn't qualified either.
Let's just,
Like someone
hold
else
on,
did.
hold on, let's just calm down and run the meeting, and if there are motions that need to be made, and we don't
Table.
have the full quorum, we will table until the next meeting.
Okay, voice of the residents, go ahead, Mike. You're up.
Mike Freeland, Willowanna Road. I'm gonna let the PMG status go, as I saw that that's on the agenda, so you're gonna discuss it anyway. But the township manager position that we budgeted for in 25, y'all made a resolution in January to have one. I was wondering why nothing has happened with that position. I believe it's obvious that we need that position for policies and procedures for all the employees, evaluations for all the employees. The fact that Megan is doing essentially what I would consider to be township manager duties, as I've read her job description that other people wrote in the past, and it's lengthy. It is not, in my opinion, what a secretary of board should be doing, certainly for 21 and change an hour. So there are many things that a board or a township supervisor or a manager could be doing, is working with other municipalities to answer some of Paul's questions with Tony's help about materials, about grants, about basically anything. Dave Jarrett said he'd be willing to help anyone that asked him the question. And he hasn't been asked, because I asked him. He could find nothing. He said he spoke to Tressa, couldn't recall directly whether it was about township manager position. Looked through his emails, he never sent an email to any of the board members about what he thought the role, the duties should be. There's another one, John Kulik, White Sox Township. He's a township manager. That's a resource. So I'm wondering, one, has anyone reached out to any of these people? Two, if you had a township manager, that person could be reaching out. That person could be reading resumes, doing interviews. Essentially, all the duties that Tressa says, oh, we're going to reach out to other managers and this and that. A town manager could do that. A town manager could get $5.9 million worth of grants that Dave Jarrett's got in 25 years, which far exceeds his pay and benefits by a lot. So Dave Jarrett actually works for free, actually gives the town money to have a job. I know Paul's against it, I don't know why, but I think it would help. I think there's another line item here on your discussion that answers itself that we can discuss, or you'll be discussing later. But I just think the necessity of a town manager, there's so much they could do. And Megan's already doing it essentially for less than $22 an hour. The clock's ticking. She's not staying. That's firmly my belief that she's going to go.
Well, I'll beat that price because I'll volunteer to do it
Hold on,
for free.
hold on. So, thank you, Mike, and just for clarification, I personally have been working on reaching out to townships, various townships, and following up on their managers, which I can tell you, and you can do your own research, that there is a lot of the secretaries that do manager jobs, which it's a hybrid type thing. They just kind of rolled into it. That's how it's been here, even before my time, your time, right?
Oh, 100%.
So, do we need a manager? Yes, we have some opportunity that just came to fruition here not too long ago, which
July
as you
10th.
stated, there's gonna be a discussion about that. So we have some opportunity here in the township to make some changes, and that's what we're gonna do. We had the job description, a draft, and you were on the board at that time.
Yes.
When you got that draft job description from me, we need to update some of that, which I have been working on and reaching out to these townships. White Sox was one of them. Thank you. So it's not that we're not working at it. We want to make sure that what we're doing is going to benefit the residents in this township of what our need is. So agree with you. Yes. Jarrett, since 2002, has done 28 grants. That equals out to about two a year, which could or could not be part of every 2 years getting a grant. However, grants, as you all know, are not the easiest thing to do. It requires a lot of work, and most often, generally, it comes back to having to add additional information. We're gonna request more. So it is not as simple or as easy as everyone thinks it is. Grants are difficult to do. Yes, policy procedures, working on a lot of those as well, getting the township up to where we need it to be. So that, I appreciate it. I just want this group to know and the residents to know that we are working on things. We're not sitting back twiddling our fingers.
And in general, there's more monies available for boroughs.
They're correct, yes, boroughs have an opportunity to get so much more money than what townships.
Oh,
do.
this is,
And the parks can get grants too,
I
but we
spoke
are a
to,
township and it's not as easy as what people think
when I
it is,
spoke to
or the
Dave,
availability.
he's the one who named John Kulik as a township manager that could provide information, because Dave pointed out there are different rules for
And
different
White Sox
folks.
is completely different than the Athens Township,
Could be, but
because I've already talked with him, not him, because he's not the manager. So I don't know where that's coming from, but, I appreciate that. And We just need to move on from that. It is being worked on, and by August,
And the
hopefully,
reason
or
I'm-
the first
the
of
reason-
September, we may have our path forward for personnel.
And the reason I asked to be put on it, because as I've come to the meetings, I've heard nothing about it. So I'm not accusing the board of do nothing. What I'm saying is, we've not heard anything of progress being made, so it gives the impression that nothing's being done.
Right, and unfortunately, Mike, you being on the board, and I've made statements of this before, if you have a question, reach out to a supervisor, contact me. You knew I was over the office, you can contact me and say, hey, what's going on with us? Instead of making accusations that nobody's doing nothing, right? That's what we all said, we wanna work together, let's start proving it, that's all.
And
You have
Patricia,
one more
I
item.
didn't call the newspaper actually called me.
Cool. Elaine, that's your turn.
And
Oh, wait.
if you read the article, I never said you weren't qualified,
No, he said he was done.
so.
To clarify,
What about Willawanna Road, Mike?
He said
Is
he
that,
wants to skip that because it's on the agenda.
PNG is
The
on.
the
What do you
road,
have for Willawanna Road? That's not our road. It's
No,
not
I live
That's
on
where
it.
he lives.
it's the road I live on.
She just put that's where he
Oh.
lives.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Before
Elaine,
you
to
move on,
clarify,
go ahead.
I will do the town manager job at no
Free,
cost
you
to
know.
the township. I'm more than qualified. I'm not opposed to it. What I'm opposed to is paying someone else $65,000 who can't do the job. Thank you.
Okay, Elaine, it's your turn.
My name's Elaine Pearson. I live on Riverside Drive in Sayre. I'm here to ask questions about your police protection on our side of the river, which seems to be very lax. I'm retired. I see what happens on Riverside Drive all of the time, and rarely do I see a police officer in the area, particularly from the Susquehanna River Bridge up to Nichols area. I only live about a half a mile up from the Sayre Bridge. There are 3 places in that span that are not passing places. And yet, every day, I see other drivers passing people on non-passable parts of that road. I live very close to that road. I have to watch to even help save my life, because the speed is way past the 40 miles per hour posted. The only time I do see a police officer, unless there's some kind of activity and they're driving 100 miles an hour up that road with the sirens blaring. And it is, why am I not seeing police ticket somebody for speeding on the road, for passing where they are not supposed to be passing? Do they keep a log of when they police that area? If so, is it public knowledge how many people are ticketed and what amount they are fined for what they are doing? Right now, the traffic is exceptionally speedy because there's no school, so they know they won't kill a child. But school will open very shortly, but they will not stop it. It's ridiculous, the passing where they should not be passing, and the speed that they're going on that road. If you look at Glen Valley Road, a turnoff from Riverside Drive, they speed down that road excessively. There's a park for children on that road. Kids play Little League on that road. It's posted no parking. There's parking all over the place on that road. I am just very disappointed in police protection on our side of the river. Everybody seems to be over here all the time. Well, we count on that part of the river, and I'd like to see something done about it. Thanks.
Thank you. Chief, can you address Ms. Pearson?
Yeah, that's the first. I'm glad that you're letting us know this. It didn't need to be in a meeting. I'm here 5 days a week. I'm available 7 days a week.
I want you on Riverside Drive.
Well, this is the first we've heard about it, to be honest.
You're not on Riverside Drive.
Usually we get a complaint by phone, and then the guys will float to that area a lot more and try to take care of that. This is the first I'm hearing about it. I think it's the first that called in on, I haven't had a complaint. This is the first I'm hearing about it. I know a lot of the roads, look, if there's a lot of speeders, we're never gonna get all of them. And I know our presence needs to be out there, and we need to try to hit each and every road at the certain designated times that people say the speeding is coming in. So we will, I'll make sure we target your road more. Township is big. I'm down on guys, and we also have to take care of other calls, but I will be over there more, and I'll let the guys know to patrol that area. Okay?
Thank you.
Yes.
One other point, people are not stopping at stop signs. They're barely slowing down, and if they don't see anything, they just go through. So I think that's another issue
So
that
that
needs to
issue
be
came up,
addressed.
by, Tim Robinson stopped in here, so our guys have been sitting on that end at the stop sign, the 4-corner stop sign.
Four corners.
So, yes, we have been addressing it there, but I know we also have a stop sign at the bridge that is a problem as well down your way.
Thank you
Chief,
very much.
who polices from the township to Nichols? Because it's
It's
Litchfield.
PSP, so we don't,
That's what I thought.
yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Thank you. Okay, the township authority,
Is it, can anybody else speak, or?
Yes.
Do I get a 3-minute comment?
did you
sign
sign in?
No, I called this morning, they says, well, as long as you don't address what I have to say, I can say what I wanna say.
No, John, if you want to speak,
Yeah, I would.
did you sign in?
I signed it.
And did you
Yeah,
put
yeah.
your topic that you want to talk about?
Well, I didn't realize that was a topic. Well, yeah.
But-
I
but-
put
did.
road- I
Yeah,
put roads
okay.
down, but my
Alright,
topic is a little bit more
procedure.
general than roads. If I can speak or no?
Yeah, yes.
Excuse me. Sorry. I'm not a very good speaker, so. Good evening, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. As a resident of Athens Township, I find it difficult to understand why a township with so many businesses continues to struggle to adequately fund our road maintenance. While I realize I don't fully understand every aspect of the tax system, I have compiled a list of 90 businesses located within the township. It raises a reasonable question. With this level of commercial activity, why is there so little funding available for our roads? I recognize that this is a 3-minute public comment period and is not the place to solve these problems. However, year after year, residents continue to hear that there simply isn't enough money, and while the condition of the township roads remains unacceptable, there appears to be no long-term strategy or visible plan that gives the residents confidence that these things are being improved. I would also like to better understand the process used to determine which roads are repaired and why certain paving methods are selected. I believe the township should consider a more strategic approach. Roads servicing established neighborhoods with public water, sewer, natural gas, and dense residential development should be prioritized to have asphalt paving because these are permanent residential communities. More rural roads with limited development could continue to be utilized for chip and seal treatments until further growth justifies the investment. This approach would direct taxpayer dollars where they provide the greatest long-term benefit. I also believe the township needs to carefully evaluate its spending priorities. While I appreciate the value of Round Top Park, I question whether maintaining a large recreational facility should be the priority when many township roads are in poor condition. Until the core of our infrastructure is adequately maintained, I believe the road improvements should take precedence. In closing, I believe the overall presentation and format of this township meetings could be also improved to better serve the public. Currently, the Board of Supervisors, you guys, staff sit on the same level as the audience. Installing a simple raised platform would allow residents to better see and to perceive these improve overall professionalism of your meetings. There is also a need of adequate sound system so the public can clearly hear all discussions, including comments from every participant. A podium equipped with a microphone should be available to citizens so they can address the board and be heard by everyone in attendance. In addition, a large TV monitor, a projection screen, should be used, and I mean used, not just have one, display documents, photographs, maps, budgets, bids, and other materials being discussed so the attendees can easily follow the presentation. Only have a couple seconds. Finally, I encourage the township to live stream and archive all public meetings. Many residents are unable to attend because of work, family obligations, and health concerns. Providing live and recorded access would improve the transparency and increase public participation and strengthen the trust between township government and its citizens. Thank you again for the opportunity to share my thoughts. I appreciate your service to our community, and I hope that these comments will be considered as Athens Township plans for its future. Thank you.
Brookside Drive. Okay, was there anyone else that signed in? Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know if there was anyone signed in or not. Okay, did anyone else sign in?
Thank you.
You did? Did you have something that you needed to bring up? Okay. Alright, so we'll move on to the Township Authority. That meeting, this is the June minutes. And it looks as though all of the bills are paid. There's no other business that they need to bring up with us. Next, we have the Township Planning Commission and the Zoning Department. Okay, so we do have the Bradford County Saldo with the data center development standards. This is the final and the adopted. We had talked about looking at these so that we could come up with something of our own for the township. So since this is our first time looking at that, I think that we should definitely read through this.
Do we have to stay within their parameters, or can we make up our own?
Well, we can't limit, we can limit for our township any way that we see fit, but it has to be within these parameters. So if they say something is not allowed, we can't say it is allowed. Is that correct, John?
And there's also a movement right now that we may be preempted in dealing with a lot of these issues across the board. At least that is the most recent iteration that the state is looking at.
That's what I thought too. But at least we have this now so we can look. If there are things that we would like to put into place that are not here or that we can limit in the township, we can do that. But that's a conversation for a different time because right now it doesn't look like anything's happening, to be honest.
I think we need to take a very serious look at this. I went to the data center meeting the other night over at what I call Covens. I guess it has a new name now. If you want your property values to go through the floor, put a data center in the valley. I'm gonna go down and talk to the 3 commissioners, but what I read in that thing was ridiculous. They're talking about 100-foot setback from your house. Now, I've had 4 major surgeries this year, so I haven't had the opportunity to drive to Berwick so I can put a dosimeter on that thing down there and see what the decibel level is off the data center in Berwick. But I'll guarantee you from what I'm seeing online, it's not good.
So, like John said, I think we're a little preemptive because the state may limit things anyway, but at least we can look at this and come up with some things that we would possibly like to see adapted for the township.
And we should.
Yes.
Should be limited as much as anything, potential placement for that within the municipality.
Correct.
And that you have absolute control.
Right. So that's, we can review that and maybe come up with some things that each of us thinks, and then also I would ask Matt and Ron to do the same. Talk to everyone to see if there's things, and I would invite the public to absolutely look at the Bradford County Commissioners page so that you can see what the commissioners have done and what they've put into place, and then if there's anything that you feel as though we would need to include in the township, that would be something that we could do.
Why don't we put one in Lake Wasaki? That'll get your attention.
Go ahead.
I think everybody needs to recognize too that we're not in a vacuum here. I mean, this is basically, the way we're set up is a donut hole where Sarah and Waverly and everybody, and then we surround everyone. So This is a bigger thing than just our township board supervisors. And I strongly suggest once again that we come up with some sort of valley consortium, working group or whatever, so we're all on the same page. Because if they do something, we're affected. If we do something, they're affected. It's a cause and effect thing and it will not stop. I guarantee you it's happening as we speak.
Well, the good news for us in the valley is that Sarah and Athens boroughs both don't have the space to do this. It's really the township that has the space, but we would need to look at Litchfield as well as Shashequin, as well as Ulster and Smithfield. So, I mean, while I 100% agree with you, we've done that in the past. We do have a committee that met as, you know, one of the things we did is in the valley was a fireworks committee because we were having a lot of issues with fireworks. But that's, again, that's something that I'm sure that once we get a little further in this process, we'll be able to do. Like I said, lucky for us, Sarah and Athens boroughs both don't have the space for this. It's the surrounding areas that do. So we really need to just talk to those. Not that we would exclude Sarah and Athens boroughs, but we would definitely need to talk to those outliers because that's
But
really
we need
where
to
it
do
can
it
happen.
sooner than later. Don't drag our feet because it's going to happen.
Right.
They are going to be here whether we like it or not.
Right.
The only
There's
input we
also-
have is beforehand.
There's also a big difference between zoned and unzoned municipalities. I will tell you absolutely, if you don't have zoning, you have virtually no control over them coming in.
Exactly. There's a lot of things that we need to do beforehand.
John,
Preemptive.
are you the solicitor for any one of those adjacent communities, municipalities?
Ulster, but that's also a zone community, and Ridgeberry, which is unzoned.
Has Ulster had any conversations at their meetings about it? It seems like maybe you could be a conduit for that.
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly things that can be done. And I understand your point, but I think that we need to utilize our zoning ordinance in Athens Township. I firmly believe that that is the number one most important component of this from Athens Township's perspective. Because we do have greater control than what unzoned municipalities.
We do have zoning,
Yeah.
so we have control.
Right.
I went to the same meeting, Paul lived, and the lady that spoke said there are people here from data centers that are looking at properties.
Oh, 100%, I know that. I know that to be true.
So do we have time to?
Oh, yeah, and right now, the state is in a moratorium because they're looking at disallowing data centers totally. So if the state does that, it doesn't matter if we say they can, the state says that they can't. So we would not be able to have the data centers anywhere in the state. We are doing this as to prepare ourselves in case the state says they can have them. Then we have the ability to say, oh, well, here's what Bradford County says is allowed and is not allowed. Now we can come up with what we want to say is allowed and not allowed in the township and put that into our zoning committee.
Okay, we're gonna be in a time frame that we can get this done before.
Oh, yeah, it was like a 90-day, they had a 90-day, didn't they do a 90-day moratorium on that? And that was like in June, so we have 3 months before they make their decision.
Is that right?
Right, what I'm saying is, we have 3 months before the state makes their decision. We had to wait for Bradford County's final to come through, which is now we do have, so we can come up with ours, so that we can have that in place, should the state decide that they would like this to continue.
And give authority to the municipalities to control those things locally.
Right.
Because they may not.
So John, they passed the moratorium at the state level?
I believe so.
That was the last, remember that was the day of our
Yeah, but
That was the House.
The House passed it, I don't think.
That was the House.
It's not passed.
I don't think it's fully in effect.
No,
So there is
That
no
would be good
moratorium.
there is no.
I read an article and these things are scary and we don't really know. I mean, I defy anybody to say they know what's going on with it. I did read an article where it was suggested that they put them in underground abandoned coal mines, which would place most of them in southwest Pennsylvania, Kentucky, Tennessee, Ohio, West Virginia, obviously. The problem is coal spontaneously combusts. So if you put a bunch of generators down there, you could have centrale all over again.
Japan's putting them in the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Chinese and the Japanese are putting them in the ocean. there's a lot of vast space out there in Montana, Wyoming, Kansas, Nebraska, Oklahoma. I see absolutely zero reason whatsoever to put one in Pennsylvania.
Alright, so we have this now,
You
we
have
can
to
move forward
address it,
with
though.
that.
Just like, I don't know, I was on the zoning board for Sarah, okay, so you needed to have, I hate to say, both doors or whatever. need
You
to
lock
have
the
a
doors of
provision.
your house knowing that you're not gonna get robbed, but you lock it because you don't.
Right, so why not zone them to a place that's not conducive that they would want?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying, and if it needs water, don't give them water.
Well, we got 2 rivers here.
Well, I'm just saying that you need to, and that lady mentioned about getting the Sarah and Athens, or I think you do need to have neighbors involved, because they border our thing. I think you'd have a bigger platform in Harrisburg than what we have with 7,000-8,000 people here, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Okay, so we'll take a look at that and come up with what we think too, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry,
Why do we even want a data center in the township?
we're not saying we do. We're saying we're hoping that if someone were to try to propose one, we would like to have the limits set on it so that
Well, can't you put that limit on it now? No data centers in Athens Township?
no.
No.
We can go through zoning and put like the different zones in zoning, we can say what we would allow or not allow. I don't know
So you have to provide for
Every
use.
correct, every use has to be provided for somewhere within the municipality. But
we can limit it how we choose to limit
right,
it.
and you can be limited to an area that they find is less desirable, right? Whether because they don't have the access to the water or whatever.
I have a question for you, John. Does the Board of Supervisors choose what is zoned in a particular way?
It can be. I mean, yes, once you have a zoning ordinance in place, it can be amended to reflect changes. And that would be up to the Board of Supervisors, generally at the behest of the Planning Commission, to periodically update the ordinance to provide for new changes, for instance. Like a lot of municipalities change their ordinances to deal with the oil and gas industry. The problem is that then, as part of the Act 13, they basically tied municipalities' hands with regard to what could go where. In other words, there were limitations on a municipality's ability to limit the placement, other than for like the detention ponds and things. So yes, we do have controls over that, unless and until the state basically usurps that power.
And essentially the zoning board, though, once they approve something for zoning, the board can't do anything about it, correct? Like say that the zoning board approves a business opportunity for someone that fits the thing, the board can't say, well, shit, we don't want that.
Correct.
The zoning board says, data center goes over here because it's zoned this way,
Yeah.
so we did it.
But again, there's different standards that a zoning hearing board may look at, okay? One of which would be, is this a variance, is this a special exception, is this conditional use, which would come before the Board of Supervisors. Each one of those has different standards. And for instance, a conditional use or a special exception is a lot easier for an applicant to receive through the production of evidence. A variance is something that should be granted very, very infrequently. So for instance, if a zoning ordinance says that you can't put a data center in the agricultural district, for whatever reason, they insist upon that and they come in, it would be a practical impossibility for them to meet the standard necessary to put that within the agricultural district.
Okay, so like I said, basically, we the people need to be more educated as to these things, which again, our Pennsylvania legislature is trying to work through and whatever. But still, like you said, or Bonnie said, if we can change, just because the state says you can, the township may say you can't.
Correct.
But we can't say you can if the state says you can't. So we need to educate ourselves as to what what can the Board of Supervisors do to the zoning board to try to curtail it as best as can? And then have you fight it as best you can, like you said, if someone's asking for conditional use, you know, waiver or variance, that there's no way this is gonna take place. And like you said, yeah, I like my phone too, but I'm old enough to remember when I didn't have one of these, and yet I'm still here. I was born without a cell phone, so, you know, we'd survive without a data center. Put them on the moon.
Okay, so, that'll be something we look at in the next couple meetings.
Yeah, it should be something that
And
the
there
board.
probably is no water.
Yeah, and next meeting. Right, the volunteer fire company, Paul, did you attend that meeting?
I did not, I talked to Mr. Merrill the other night, I will attend the next one.
Okay,
I did attend the parks meeting, that's the next one. but-
yeah, Parks is next, Mead.
Okay,
Go
I
ahead.
just have a couple of things here. One thing that did not make the minutes that you have is that Bill Stumble and myself attended the Tina Pickett Senior Expo, and we had a good turnout there, passed out a lot of brochures and things like this, talked about the park. Overall, people's opinions and comments about the park are very, very good. And we were very happy to do that. It's always nice to find somebody that says, gee, I haven't been there in a while, I'm gonna go there. It's also discouraging when you find somebody that says, I've lived here all my life and I've never been there. So, you know, that's always something that we're dealing with. A couple of things you have on here, update to the rules. We're still putting that together. Bill and I just haven't had a chance to get together. They're very, very simple. We're just gonna add a garbage or refuge ordinance to the rules and regulations, discouraging people from doing that. If there's any type of legal whatever that we can put in that to add some teeth to it so people don't drop their garbage into our garbage cans or just throw things away at the parks, we're gonna try to add that to it with John's approval, of course. And also too, we're gonna put on there, no drop-offs for domestic or wild animals. We want to discourage people from dropping off unwanted pets. It's just a bad thing. So we're gonna try to discourage that too. We're also gonna look in to see if there's any teeth that we can put into that too. Again, we'll work with John on that there too. Couple of other things, just something you had mentioned. I'm sorry, I don't remember your name.
John.
John, okay, John. You had mentioned money for the roads going for Round Top. Let me assure you, I have roads up there that need work too. Parks and Rec has been asking for the roads to be done on Round Top Park for 9 years plus, which goes back to the Dick Bean days, okay? So I can assure you, there is no road work being done on Round Top at the detriment of residents of the community. I can assure you of that.
I don't have a personal problem with Round Top.
I understand.
Personally, from my opinion, I would make it Bradford County Park and not an Athens Township. It's being utilized by so many people from New York State. Is a township with little funds that we have supplementing a major attraction?
Well,
in my opinion.
Okay.
Strictly my opinion.
Okay, I'd love to have a conversation with you about it, John. I really would. I can assure you of this. The park is very well received on both sides of the border. The park does generate money. We do rent the pavilions up there, okay? We work on grants and donations, okay? Endless Mountains Heritage Region, okay, is where we get a lot of our money from, which our grant money. You had mentioned that grants, Tressa had mentioned that grants aren't easy. They aren't. Bill and I worked on a grant recently to rehab a pavilion up there. It took quite a while to put that all together. If we were to get rid of that park, it's a valuable resource for the community. If we were to get rid of that, we would not qualify for that type of thing anymore. So there's a lot of good that comes from the park system that we have. And quite honestly, the small amount of money that's put into the parks every year, we get way more out of it than we put into it.
Thank
so
you.
Please.
Thank
Okay.
you for clarifying that.
Not a problem. And then the last thing I wanted to say, and this is just something that came up in our meeting when John came to the meeting there the other night, and that was about the gas folks developing something over there. Just as a point of interest, I guess, the park and recreation people are against development of anything over at Jim King Park with regard to the gas development over there. I don't know what's involved or what people are talking about, and I don't presume to know. If there is something going on over there, I'd like to talk to somebody about it, but really, I just don't see that as a reality over in there. And I know it's a community park over there, and the folks that live there support it a great deal. And, you know, we stand with you in that.
Yes.
So, just so you know, that's where your Parks and Rec Commission stands on that issue.
Thank you.
And thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mead. The Township Public Works Department. Blondie.
PSA material, we already talked about payment management group. I know I was talking to Bonnie about that earlier. Originally, we put it on because we're trying to figure this out, and then we wanted to touch because Mike was want to talk about it too. So
this was discussed back in May. We had, I think, you were here for that demo that was presented by Howard Miller from this group on software. I'm going to call it a software program. And John, this may hit one of your issues that you're having with how do you determine the road and which road gets done first. This program, and it'll be a lot of work to set this up. It was $20,350 for 2 years. There is a $2,000 annual license, which consists of updating any of the software, which in any software company, you're going to have maintenance and updates, plus the support services. That $20,350 is only good for 2 years, but what it does is they come in and they actually map out every township road. They do an assessment of every road. They take pictures, and then that is put into the database. And based on that, it is determined which road or roads would need to come first, second, third. So it kind of helps map out a 3-year, 5-year plan, right? It was very sophisticated, and it's not really a downside, but they haven't done a lot of the dirt roads, but they've got the skill and the experience that is needed. So there is some value. It is expensive, but you're not going to find a software program that isn't these days. And it'll run reports, annual reports, as many times we want them ran. There is a 30% cost that we need to put down because that will be their motorization. They'll have to come in, they'll have to spend time copying, doing maps. There will be work that needs to be put into that. So that's what the 30% down is. And then it's a monthly invoice, or we could figure out if we wanted to have it done differently. We are running up against the 90 days. So we will need to make a decision if we feel that this will bring value to the township. One thing is, the con is you all may not like it if it's not your road that falls into whatever their assessment is, right? That could be a con to the residents. But knowing that every year that's being assessed and as roads are getting done, that's being updated. And it'll give us the report, it'll tell us what roads we need to focus on. We can then project costs to be able to maintain those roads. So we all know, all of us sitting in this room, these roads we know they're all deteriorating. It's just the way it is. It's been let go. It has happened before this board. It's been years. So what we're trying to do is, does it make sense to go with this package, this software program, have them come in, the experts who know the roads, who can outline all of this for us, and then we maintain that. And that's gonna help with budgeting as well.
You talked about the $20,000 cost, yes?
Yes.
Did you tell them the renewal cost?
So if we were to renew, again, at the end of the 2 years, it's gonna be a redo contract. So keep inflation in mind. It could be now 21,000 after the 2 years. So it's an every 2 year
But we'll have the
update.
data.
But we will have the data,
And they will
absolutely,
look
we will have the data, and that 2,000 is maintaining those dashboards. And we don't wanna lose those, those are gonna be very critical for the township.
And they will look over the roads we've already repaired. in that
Oh, yeah,
period.
they're gonna do the
'Cause-
whole assessment,
Cause as a
everything.
taxpayer, I'll give you 5 seconds of my two, we talk about, approved material. Well, if the substrate, if the ground is not, you're putting approved material over ground that might not meet the state criteria. It'd be like painting a wall with approved paint, but the wall is not, doesn't meet the criteria. So I'm saying is, I applaud you trying to go with the state, but what good does it do if you're going with approved material if the substrate that you're putting that approved material on meets regular, simple agriculture? That's what I'm saying as a taxpayer. I know it's great to get taxpayer money, but ultimately it's my money anyway, our money anyway. We're Pennsylvania taxpayers.
Exactly, so
Thank
I
you.
had a discussion with Howard Miller yesterday, I don't know, all these days run in, I've spent a lot of time on township stuff lately. But we are coming up, he did say, let him know whatever the decision was, they'd be more than happy, they will assign a project manager to that. They will do a kickoff, they will come and do a kickoff, of the process, and we will need to follow that process. So there's gonna be things that Tony will need to provide, and the township will need to provide maps, they're gonna take photo, there's gonna be a lot of work for them to do.
Once, I would suggest to reach out to the other communities or townships that this company has provided that service and ask them if the payback is worth it.
Yeah, and they provided all of
If they don't
that,
give us a
John, they
payback-
provided all of that information for us.
Can I speak to this? I think we're throwing money away here, and I'm gonna explain why. We have a road supervisor. We had a road supervisor before the road supervisor we have now, and we had one before that. What do we need, why are we gonna pay $20,000 to have somebody come in and tell us our roads aren't? We already know this. Joe King and I could ride around in his pickup truck with a GoPro camera and do the same thing. I've already done it, we just didn't have a camera. How many yards of ditch do we have cleaned out going into August?
Couple miles, we don't have a lot.
Couple miles? Have you done anything
We're
besides
talking, we're
being
not
there?
talking about this, we're talking about
Well, you have to clean the ditch before you put material on the road, Tony.
where you have to pull it out of the ditch
Okay,
onto the material. And
so
that's what
why are
we've
we
been
up there
working
on
on.
Gainland Road?
Paul, do you need this? This is the PMG of the demo that was done that
He
you.
was here.
Okay, so none of you, can any of you tell me in this room you're happy with the roads and what we have been trying to do for the past, I've been on the board for 3 years, going on the 4th year. I did an assessment of the roads, put all 75 roads down with the conditions which at the time Chuck Wright used. Tony came up, no, it was the one before Tony, Garrett came on, was using that as well. None of you are satisfied with the decisions that we make with the roads. This takes out that dynamics of why are you doing this when we have an official, experienced company that can come in and do all of this and tell us, this is what you have. Do we have to go with what they say? No, we can make those changes, but at least we have an unbiased document to go by and descriptions, roads, maps,
It
the
also
conditions of the
projected a
roads.
bid. It also projected a bid so that when you receive bids, you can compare your bids, so
Correct.
you're seeing
Thank
what
you
you're
for
getting.
that. Yes, thank you for
It was
that.
it was very impressive,
Yes.
yeah.
Is there any grants for that kind of project? Buy this software? Government grant?
I don't know, but they know.
They
But I'm
tell
more
us
than
that.
happy to contact Howard again.
And I say with all due respect, and I mean it to everyone, including Paul, okay? Just because you're elected to the board doesn't make you a road expert.
That's
Just 'cause-
correct.
Just because I'm a father doesn't mean I,
That's
have a house. What I'm trying to explain is, you need to go to professional people to tell you what you need. And then quite respectfully, you need to follow with those people. That's,
Absolutely.
That's what they're trying to do.
That's what we're, yeah.
Look at last year's roads. I drove down last year's roads that you did. I'm not very familiar with the roads. But if that is the finished product, going down over the hill by Pudgy's, up over the mountain there, if that's the finished product, then we're in trouble.
Right.
We really are. If that is the finished, I don't know if it is, but it's here, it's almost August, and nothing's done on it, and I saw what was done last year, and if you go over there with all the rain, there's potholes all over the place.
And that's exactly what we're looking at as a board, trying to see where we can improve. Where we can improve, the township, so.
Get that back.
Oh, we'll take that back.
Bonnie, the other thing to elaborate on what you brought up, and again, I was with you, Valerie, that was an awesome freaking presentation, because the way they did it, and they showed it on, you can go and look at it online if you want. They've got a wonderful website and you can see what happens, but the camera actually is videoing the road itself. They tell you what needs to be done, what kind of substrate or whatever rock or whatever needs to be done with it. They tell you the ditches need to be this far, this done, and they tell you how much you can expect to pay for said little project.
It's called
And
accountability.
well, yeah, but it was very succinct, and we do not have a baseline. We just don't. We're putting out fires right now.
Right, because everyone's perception, it's like, who's hollering the loudest, we're
Right.
shifting gears, we're doing this. This will help, especially the director of the roads, to a degree that we will be able, and the board, and budget, to be able to determine, all right, what can we set? We could do a 3 to 5 year. But again, I realize the cost. And in a 2 years' time, we may decide, do we want to even do this for another 2 years? We may have the information that we need, as long as we have the data, which they're telling us we have the data, and those dashboards, we could potentially manage it on our own. So,
Mason, I have a quick question. Do we have the $22,350 in the budget for this?
There is no set line item for it. However, like again, on the Act 13 account, there was a net income from the budget of roughly $100,000 that's unallocated for it.
Okay.
So I believe our John's resolution would allow to create another line item for this purchase to be used.
okay, and we would need to just come up with a 30% upfront.
I think our money is much better spent buying $20,000 worth of material and start back dragging pockets. That's how it's done, folks.
Rosemary, you had a.
This is kind of to Paul's point, but I thought the presentation was awesome. I think it'd be great to have a baseline. $20,000 is a lot. Anything over 13.6 has to be bid out, right?
There are different exceptions around that, primarily because I don't believe I believe falls under professional services, first of all, okay, which is one of the exceptions. But in addition there too, I don't think there are any other similar kind of programs or companies that can offer this.
Okay.
Okay, so do you want to make a motion to do this at all?
Make an attempt.
I mean, the money is there.
Sounds like
The 90 days will be up before the August meeting. We could ask if they would be willing to extend it by a few days, since the meeting is the week that would expire.
Can I ask one more question? $20,000, how much pothole is that gonna fix, Paul? I'm not trying to swing your vote, but what I'm saying is, it's a pothole, it's gonna fix a pothole, and then a year from now, you're gonna have the same problem.
It's gonna depend on the road,
Why
okay?
not give it a shot, Paul?
I did 60 ton of gravel on my driveway, which is 100 yards, okay? Have you ever driven a loader?
No, I'm
Okay.
not an expert.
If we get a good loader operator in a 966, 972, 980 cat, we can have the material delivered on site. They dump it, the loader operator scoops it up, drops it on the ground, drops the blade down, and back drags the road. Anything that's not surface gets filled, okay? We shouldn't be debating what we're gonna pave and what we're gonna,
No, let the
we're
data
at
show.
catastrophic failure here. We need to start filling some potholes before some kid gets killed.
But I respectfully disagree with you. I know I'm only a citizen, but I do say you need to let the data show you what you do need to do.
Well, you can look at it.
What data? You don't have any data. Nobody has any data. You, like you just said, whoever squeaks the loudest.
Well, drive up
Right,
Miller
so-
Road.
All right, Paul, hold on.
Whoever squeaks the
We
loudest.
didn't make a motion to approve the material, so we don't have material to fix the potholes.
Right.
And secondly, and this will probably not go through, but I'm gonna make an attempt here to make a motion that we move forward with PMG for the 20,350, the 2,000, monthly maintenance support dashboard, system, yeah, software system.
I'll second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
No.
Okay,
So
so we'll
we'll have
talk
to
about
table
this
it
the
and bring
next
it back another time. I will talk with Howard to see if we can at least extend past the
to the last meeting.
90 days.
Okay.
Special meeting when you
Well,
have.
we may need that because we're not gonna get anything
Done.
done tonight.
Right, all right, Aaron Road intersection, Tony, that's the estimate that you got.
You'll have all the members.
We're on eight.
That was that,
Quote for that section to be paved. We did push back for Bishops to see if that would be something they could, add into the current paving contract, but it was not, they were not able to accommodate the cost, to meet the cost for that, so.
okay. And do we have that?
They could only lower it 6,000, so when I was talking to Bishops,
We have to figure it out.
they need to figure out who's doing it. Because right now they're planning on paving the other one starting September 14th. Rather than that.
So can we put that in the same ad
Did Dustin say he was
as
gonna
the
sub it out? Or?
PSA?
No, Bishops was gonna do it themselves.
So we would just have to put it up to bid.
But I don't know if the funds are there to cover that along with all the other things.
Right.
So we would need to know what the cost is.
I say we
Or
table,
we've got-
I'll make a motion that we table this until we have more information. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Right, so that'll be tabled for the next meeting. If you could just get a little bit more information on that, Tony, so that we can maybe, if we have money that we would be able to do that with, then we can advertise for it and hopefully it could get done. Next, we have the bridge repairs, maintenance update, and PennDOT's tip program.
I'd like to make a motion that we establish a committee, maybe one or two people off the planning commission, one or two people off the zoning hearing board, so we can have a discussion on whether or not the TIPS program is actually beneficial to us.
Why would it not be beneficial, Paul?
Because you give up control of the bridge to the state
Mhm.
when you do this.
How do you give up, how do you give up control? What we're going to give up is.
I was
Right now,
told,
right now, it's 5% that we would be owed by the township. And the state takes care of the rest of the cost for the bridges.
Right.
So I guess I don't understand what you're wanting to do.
well, I had two PennDOT gentlemen sit in the back here at one meeting 6-7 months ago and tell me that you cannot weld on the bridge, when I told them that we should weld the bridge, and they said you can't do it. So what did we do on Miller Road yesterday?
We took Larson Design Engineers.
We welded on the bridge.
Welded on it.
Okay. So if we can weld on the bridge and we're legal with that, then why do we need the state? Virtually every bridge in Warren Center is a culvert. We can frame them up. We can put pipes in. We can dump sevens down in the hole or concrete. But
You do realize that the state is still gonna do inspections. of these
Fine.
bridges.
It ain't gonna
And
do, it
we
ain't
have-
gonna go
and-
anywhere.
And you're saying we have the experience to be able to do this?
There's people in this community that do, yes, absolutely. They fixed the Miller Road Bridge yesterday.
So you're saying give up the cost?
Well, we pay
Give-
the cost.
Well,
give up the
there's
cost
a
that
lot
we
of
have
discussion
tried,
here
or it
on
could
how
be-
much money
It could be
the state
millions
gives.
to fix a bridge.
I understand what they cost, okay?
And that's, they're doing the.
We've had a lot of discussion on how much money the state gives us, and then we're paying twice as much for gravel. So if we're buying $180,000 worth of gravel that we could get for $90,000, I wanna know how much the state's giving.
But the current tip that the Miller and Moore Road bridges.
I
are
just
on-
asked for a
Can-
couple people
can
to
I
sit down and
explain it,
discuss
please?
it.
Can I tell you the current tip, that program that the Miller Road and the Moore Road bridges are on for replacement? The township, they bundled it and it was able to cover both, no cost.
What are we gonna do with more roads?
But how much would it cost
It
if
was
we
like,
didn't do that?
it was like probably 1.2 million or something like that. Like, that's a little
Well,
bit
the
of money.
bridge is fixed, so why are we gonna rip it back out? That's what I'm saying.
This is the permanent replacement of the permanent fix for the bridges.
So instead of arguing about it, why don't, I
Why
mean,
don't
he's
we form
asking
a
for a
committee
committee
and let me talk to some of these
to
people?
research it. But, now you're not gonna solve it here tonight, but a committee of people interested may help.
Yeah, I don't see any reason that we can't discuss it. Or we can't form a committee to discuss it.
You can discuss it, Paul, do your research, talk with whoever.
Well, I
you
thought I'd
choose to
invite you guys,
discuss.
so that's why I made the motion.
Well, we can have two of us on the committee.
Right.
And I would say Matt would probably be the recommended supervisor. And then whoever else you would like to be on that committee, I would recommend Tony. Yeah.
Do I get to say anything? I'm not on the committee.
I didn't say that, Paul. Obviously, you would like the
Okay.
committee, it would be you and Matt. Did I not make that clear? Did I mean, sorry, did I misspeak? Did I say I would invite Matt to do that with you?
said it would be you and Matt,
Yeah,
yes.
that's what I said.
Yeah.
Just making sure I'm clear.
So, second committee.
Sure, I'll second that. All in favor? You opposed? Good job. So Paul, I would ask you to please speak with Matt, talk to Tony, whoever else you would like to be on the committee. I would recommend that you guys decide when and where you'd like to meet, just make sure that Matt and Tony are included.
I've already got the engineers picked up.
Cool. Next, do we have more things to go with that line item, Tony, with the bridges and repairs and maintenance update? Because we didn't get to that, it was
No,
immediately.
that was just primarily just to tell you, we did the quick fixes for Larson and then, Kelly wanted to talk about it.
Okay.
So we threw it in.
Okay. The fleet evaluation, is that this invoice page from Bradco?
No,
What are
that's
we-
what
There isn't.
we were talking about
there's no
earlier with,
You just
I have to get I need to get some estimates for frame repairs,
For truck, which one was that again?
4 and 7.
Okay. The mower update,
The mower update, I was working the estimates on, we ended up pulling the estimates because every time I go to, I got 5 of them. And none wanted more, so I was just trying to get more so we could figure this out. Now, our township mower, we've ran it around as much as we could. Yesterday, the PTO fell off. We had to bring it back to shop, fix it. And then today the PTO fell off again, and at the same time, because there's so much weight on that back mower, it bent the cylinder. So now we gotta send the cylinder out for repair. So we're down the mower.
How many times has this happened?
3 just with me being here in 7 months.
So why do we keep doing the same thing if it doesn't work?
And it broke one more time last year. Cause we only had enough to rent a mower for 3 weeks.
What happened to the grasshopper?
We've broken it 3 times.
Next, we have the road foreman position.
Yeah, we're just looking at, we had the foreman, well, I had a person fill in a position, road foreman before. We're just trying to revisit that. I mean, I need another operator anyways, so we wanted to see, because, I mean, sometimes when we got everything split up, a lot of times I'm trying to take care of moving signs or trying to help traffic control, or I'm trying to go to the meetings and whatnot, so just, you know, kind of have a second-hand person. Right now I have Mike. I mean, he's doing great. I mean, he's, you know, airline and heavy, so, you know.
So do you want to
just gotta figure
advertise
it
for a
out.
road foreman? Is that what you'd like to do?
Well, I don't know, is that the fairest thing to do? Or is it, because I talked to Mike and he's uncertain if he wants it. A lot of it is because the position originally was a reduction. So, I mean, I guess it's something I can revisit with him, but I don't.
Well, I mean, if you would like a road foreman, I would say we should advertise that you would like to hire a road foreman. And if that's
Yeah,
something
we
that he would like to do,
advertise
he can
and
apply
stuff.
for that.
Yeah.
So Mr. Moore supervises Mr. Lundy, and now we need another road.
This would be a,
The supervisor only oversees the department.
Right, he doesn't, the road foreman would still be in the position.
Yes.
Correct.
so I'll make a motion to advertise for a road foreman.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Alright, so we'll have to see if that's something we wanna do next time.
Wait a minute. So you need somebody, so because Paul, you're not good with it, and we don't put it in the
Motion
paper.
didn't pass.
No, because we only have three of us here.
Okay, so this is ridiculous.
How many supervisors do we
So we
need?
need somebody to fix our roads, and we need another human out there, but because you don't like it, it's
Well,
all tabled.
That's not what's going on here.
And you guys all wonder why
How many
roads aren't
trucks do we
being
have
fixed.
that we can even put on the road? So why are we hiring somebody else?
Between
Our
trucks-
excavator's been sitting up on Game Land
we
Road
have
for a year.
trucks, grader.
It's missing
roller,
parts. Was that
rake.
reported to the police?
I mean,
So we'll talk about that next meeting, I guess. Next we have the LTAP roadway, management conference on the 20th to the 22nd of October. Is that, looks like the early bird registration is due by August 2nd.
There's also another, the Public Works Expo PSATs is coming up too, so there's two opportunities to
Send people.
that.
Looks,
If you so choose.
Will we?
that would be November 10th and 11th for the
Yeah.
PSATs one. So would that be something, Tony, that you would attend?
yeah, I guess we.
Yeah. Is that something that a foreman would need to attend, or could he be here?
You could be here, or I mean, I wouldn't mind maybe taking one of the, you know, seeing if any of the crew want to go, so I can get some.
Right.
To both of them, Tony? Is it-
Okay, well then, I'll make a motion to approve two attendees.
I will second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes, so two registered attendees for both. Anything else, Mr. Lundy?
No.
Thank you. Next, we have the Athens Township Police Department.
Yes,
Chief?
I wanted to talk to the board about an opportunity the police department has. There is a federal task force program that the department can sign up for. It's fully funded. We'll receive compensation for training, equipment. We'll be teaming up with U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. And the scope of the program is for Athens Township only, and it will really help our department utilize certain situations that we might get in from time to time. It'd be a good tool for the officers. It won't cost taxpayers anything if it's all It's all a fun program, so.
So you're just seeking approval, is this what you need, chief?
Approval or just as other task force advising the board that there was a program that I think we should move forward with.
I make a motion to approve.
So I have a question before you do that.
Yeah.
So how does that, marry up with the work that you have to do for the township already in policing?
So, I would like to talk to any residents about that one-on-one. I can give you a brief right now. I will. We're gonna use this in the scope of our work. Sometimes we come across, we're a diverse community now, and we may come across an individual that we don't have the resources capable right now to run them and find out if they are vetted, if they're wanted out of the country. This would give us the authority to take them into custody and get them to the proper authorities, which we cannot do now unless they commit a crime. So you can walk around here and you're not supposed to be here, or you may have a fake ID that when we run you through the state, it's not gonna come back. So we need the help from the federal government so that we have a source to call when we have somebody that we suspect. But it's gonna be a job that we're gonna be doing within our normal routine. When we encounter these things that sometimes we can't do anything about right now. We just gotta walk away and turn a cheek.
I think I would definitely like to hear more about this.
Well, Bonnie and I were just talking about it, that's not really something that you need board motion on, is that correct?
Nope.
Okay, so.
It's a police, it's their work police.
I'd be more than happy, Rosemary.
Okay, good. I'm
And just so
not
you know,
being
just so you know,
belligerent.
no, I know.
I wanna know.
We're in the process. We gotta do a letter of intent. You have to be accepted. It's not like we've been accepted.
All right, yeah, I'd love to know more about it.
So no motion was necessary, thank you for that
Yep,
information,
absolutely.
chief.
Thank
Is
you.
there anything else that you'd like to discuss?
No, that's it.
Okay, thank you.
Does he have a monthly report?
He does, yep, I have it right in front of me, that's next, we're getting to the monthly reports.
Got it.
I think my mother-in-law might be illegal. I'll give the address to the.
So with the monthly reports for the police, we do have a total of 31 reported and investigated crimes with 13 arrests. 5 warrants were served. We did have 8 total NDAs, and that was for the police. Sorry, the fire department's is not in the right order, so let me get that out. We did have 123 hours and 18 minutes of response and training time. We also used $225.79 in fuel. That's for the fire. The parks report we did get from Mr. Mead. The road report we just got from Mr. Lundy. There was nothing from the authority or planning. Oh, that's right, authority we did. So planning we didn't have anything. Police, I just read. The building permits, there were no notices sent to be on watch. No variances, no special exceptions or conditions or anything like that. They did respond to 42 PA1 calls this month and traveled 572 miles. And then the treasurer's report, we do have a total available funds of $4,410,967.01. And we have bills to approve of $67,673.99. With
If I
that,
may, while we're discussing the bill, I noticed, and I hope I'm not incorrect on this, but why is our electric bill on this building $3,000? The last one I saw was $1,800.
my bill
Has
went,
been $3,000.
my bill went from 300 to 600.
Yeah, mine doubled.
So it's an electric problem with the electric company, unfortunately.
There's also over 10 accounts that get paid to.
Does this building have a basement?
So
Okay. Chief, if you get a chance, I want to talk to you after the meeting.
I just need a motion to accept the monthly reports.
Make a motion to accept the monthly reports minus the planning.
Right. I'll second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Reports accepted. Next, we need a motion to pay the monthly bills.
I'll make a motion to pay the monthly bills.
I'll second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Next, we need to, table the approval of the minutes, so I'll make a motion to approve the table. I will make a motion to table the approval of last meeting minutes, because Bonnie was not there and the other two supervisors are not here. So I'll make a motion to table that. Do I have a second?
Because I wasn't.
Paul? Is that cool if we table it?
What do we table?
Except to approve the minutes of the last meeting.
Why are we tabling?
Because
We don't have quorum.
Oh, okay, yeah, fine.
So technically you can't.
Yeah, there's nothing we can do, we can't do anything with that, so.
But if
Next,
you have a unanimous vote with three, you can push it forward.
Bonnie wasn't there, so
Oh,
she
okay,
can't vote,
okay.
so it's.
All right.
Next, the audit update.
So you should see right, as attached to the guys' pamphlets there is, first top copy is the invoice for the services rendered for the final payment of $12,500. Next, you'll see the management letter and other additional adjustments that need to be made for the 2025 year that you signed off on.
And then the report, correct?
Yeah, so there's financial statements and a DCED report as well as in there. In addition, upon approving it, they said that they would come down and discuss the financials for the 2025 year in the next meeting if the board would want
Like
that. So,
Okay, so we just need a motion to approve this. And pay the bill. Pay the bill and approve, because we have to sign that we approved it.
So pay the $12,500 sign the document.
Do we want to add that we would like them to come present, or do we not feel it's necessary?
that would be
I think-
beneficial.
Yeah, I would like them to come and present something.
Okay, so add that into the. So the motion reads, to approve the audit, pay the balance, as well as ask for them to come present at our next meeting. Do I have a second? I'll second. All in favor? Aye.
I believe you misspoke, said July 2nd.
I don't think I said July.
Okay, maybe I misheard. Okay,
Did not say July.
yeah, we're good.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Next, the district magistrate office lease.
Yes, I did receive confirmation just today that the commissioners did approve our proposal for the district justice lease. That just occurred at the commissioners meeting apparently yesterday. They have asked that I supply them with an updated lease that reflects that payment. Obviously, that didn't happen, I just found out today, but I did tell them that I would follow through and have something for their signature by their next meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. And just for clarity's sake, of course, once that is determined, then they will be making the payment retroactive to the date that their past lease was expired.
Okay. Thank you, John.
Sure.
Next, proposals for Aaron Road, the survey and study for weight rating.
I did have a second one. I had the one from Larson Design Group for a couple of months now. And I was waiting on one from Pen Engineering. They recently got back to me and said that, since we last spoke, we've acquired some more projects, which has increased their backlog. So they were not responsive for the proposal for this. So we have the one from Larson Design Group. He said, everything, I just spoke with him the other day, it is dated April, but he said everything is still the same, other than the dates for things. And he said he could supply new dates moving forward if it was determined to move forward with their proposal.
Do we have to bid it?
I called 9 different companies, and this was the only one that provided a proposal for this service, for that study and the survey.
It's $6,200. Is that correct?
Alright, I will add that there's, for the specific line item, there's only budgeted for is $6,000. So you're trying to negotiate to try to lower it to 6,000. Possible.
Well, I would encourage us to do that. Let them know that we budgeted $6,000. Find out the next meeting. Next, the resolution 2026-14, Act 13 allocation for seal coating projects awarded at the supervisor meeting in June. We just need to adopt this resolution because we didn't do that at that meeting.
Could I ask one question?
No, that was June, June meeting, Bonnie, yes. So we'll have to wait on this one too. John?
When we were talking about that survey and doing for 20 grand to do
Yep.
the road, would they do what you're, got that there for number 3 there, would that survey?
For Aaron Road?
Would that save you 6 grand there if they could do that?
That's done by
6 grand.
Isn't that
God.
a that thing?
It's
You're
more of
talking about
a
20 grand, you know, pay some-
engineering service.
You got it.
I don't believe it also goes along with this, the road materials and this, they have to do a speed study.
Oh,
So
sure.
it's kind of combined together.
I just thought
It's a
maybe.
little different.
John.
That's a good question.
John, and then it also has to be done so it can be a state certified road. They gotta certify the weight.
Oh,
That's why
thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so that takes us to the Bradford County proposed EMS sustainability funding process. Let's see. Athens Township's assessment is,
You wanna explain that? The quick version.
Well,
This
14
Bradford
mils.
County.
oh, so the Bradford County Association at the EMS, they're putting together a proposal of reaching out to various boroughs, townships around the area, encouraging municipalities and such others to donate to the EMS. For every dollar that we donate, they match that by 0.5%. So let's just say if we donated $64,000 to them per se, they would basically match the half of that. So to be provided to the EMS services. So they're just basically putting out there that if you donate money to the EMS services, that they're going to make a contribution on your behalf of the 0.5% to them as well. So they're encouraging donations. Which, I mean, there's nothing in the budget for it anyway to make that donation. So everything that we do to contribute to is to the fire company.
right, is this moving forward? So that's something that we could look at for
So
2027 budget?
It's all state funded essentially. So they don't know if it's gonna be liable for the 2027 year. They don't, so they're just basically encouraging it to happen in 2026 so they can utilize their spending.
Got it. Okay. I guess it's kind of good to know. What should we do now? Thank you, Lisa.
Did we skip number 4 on that, or did I miss it?
Yeah, that's the one that we can't do because Bonnie wasn't here,
Oh,
so
got
we
it.
can't
the resolution?
Yeah, we can't do that. Next, we have the zoning vehicle, the 2026 Blazer upgrade options. Is that this?
That's just the, what I think Friday chopped down for what it costs for the decals, but there's a high cal invoice or quote for the upgrades for the light bars and.
What do we need light bars on code enforcement for?
No. Not even code.
It's not a police officer.
True.
We can paint AT on the door.
Well, I see it says it's the amber colored
What's an emergency?
Caution.
caution lights.
Yeah.
A waste of money. Take that, yeah, take that money and give it to you.
This is the only place that he found this, is that right?
I didn't get any other quotes.
Okay, maybe we should. No.
This one is.
Yeah, maybe we should be looking at different options for that, because that's not
Yeah, let's see if we can get
another quote for that. Municipal posting.
Oh, no, I wanted to know before I move forward with posting just the, zoning vehicle. If, the old zoning vehicle, if I asked, Public Works and the police if there's anything else that they had to to list so we could advertise it all at once and have everything kind of on at one time. Kind of consolidate and utilize that resource. I kind of ran out of time to get all of that around, so, Chief, did you say you had two vehicles that were
There's
on their way out, not able to be
the pickup
inspected?
truck that Chesapeake had donated years ago. It needs quite a bit of work, and for the amount that it gets used, it's just not worth to put the money into it. And then there's a 2008 Subaru out there that the district attorney's office had bought for us for the drug task force, and it's not worth to keep on the road. So.
Okay. Tony, what about you?
No, because I'm using the old zoning vehicle as a vehicle. I don't have enough to get through it.
Okay, so add those two vehicles then, Megan, the two police vehicles.
Is there any other equipment out there that you had that you wanted to put on?
No, right now
I'd rather just do one advertisement with all of them listed, that these are the dates that the auctions are running, so we can get.
I mean, if I find some, I think some, I'll let know in the morning.
Okay. Anything else for that, Meg? Alright, next we have the PennDOT State Route 1069 project.
This is that, the traffic data, the signal timings that they had been an ongoing thing that they finally got everything adjusted for.
Oh, good.
And they just need the permit plans approved and signed so that they can submit them. I know the last free timing thing that was that they had discussed was back at the beginning of the year. So.
Right, we talked about that. Yeah.
And prior to that, I believe it was then Chuck this year. So
yeah, it was
when they first started off.
And that's for the lights on Elmira Street.
Yeah, I'll go read forms to sign.
Do we need to do any movement on that, or does that, we just have that there?
I know that the plan for the last retiming was approved, so I don't know if this signing of the permits needs to be on or approved as well, or if it's.
So this is just.
And Eddie did review these as well, so.
So just so everybody knows, that means that the lights that are on Elmira Street, intersection of Walmart or Kmart Bridge, Lockhart Street and Walmart would be timed all correctly. Does that include Lowe's? I think it does. I think it's all four of those lights, not Pennsylvania, or not Pine Street, because that's not us. But those four lights on Elmira Street would be timed correctly so that there's not a backup and you don't get a backup on Elmira Street waiting for another light. So that's what
Last
that
year,
is.
that's why there were a lot of backups because they were
It
messing
wasn't
with, they were,
timed right.
they were testing different timings.
So I'll make a motion to approve that.
I'll second. And the motion is signing the permit.
Correct. The permit plans, yeah. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Next, the Expand Energy, the new lease proposal. Is that this?
No, that was one that was brought up back in March.
Yeah.
It's like the FEMA ones, no, I wasn't gonna print them out for everybody again. I sent them, I think 6 times out.
Yeah, we've had that before, yeah. Okay.
So it's
And I did
they do
hear
need the
from
final, right?
the gentleman from Berkshire, and he's indicating that they're pushing forward. If we would like to be, we need to authorize. If not, they're gonna just go forward with that.
And did we get that new lease proposal?
The lease proposal, yes. Yeah,
It's
that's
the same.
what.
It's the same.
It's
It
the
hasn't
same, nothing's
changed.
changed.
Okay.
I mean, what are we getting an acre?
I think it was 12.
1,200?
1250, I think. Or is it 15? I don't even remember now, it's been so long.
So how many acres encompass the FEMA properties on Little Water and Wow?
It's like 7, 8 acres.
7 acres? And how many acres is Jim King Park?
There's one.
Yeah, because it was all the FEMA ones and then.
So let's call it
Park
12
property.
times 1,500. Somebody help me out with the math here. How much we getting there? 18.5? So for 18.5, we're going to allow a leasing company to take over one of our parks.
No.
I have a question. I have a couple questions.
No.
Hold on.
Paul, you can't present things that are not.
We're talking about it. It's on the agenda. What do you know about facts?
I know it's not, I know we're not giving the park to the
I
gal.
understand that, but you're leasing the property and you don't know what they're gonna do with it. If they decide, because there's multiple pads in East Athens, that they're gonna use that as a staging area for their equipment, there's nothing you can do. And you're getting 20 grand at most?
I don't
think the people in East Athens that pay taxes to the township wanna look at that. I don't think they wanna drill in the park.
Are we, may I ask a question, because I'm with Parks and Rec, I have a question, because, you know, I heard about this on Monday night. Are we talking leasing development above ground, or are we talking underground?
Subsurface.
Subsurface, okay, so we're not talking about losing our park, stop me if I have to stop, you stop, please.
Stop if we need to. Go ahead.
Correct.
Okay, are we talking, we're talking below ground?
Correct.
Okay. As I understand it with these gas developments and that, the way they do things, they have fingers that go out underneath the ground and things like that. Is that what we're talking about? We're not talking about turning our park into a construction yard.
Correct.
Okay, I just wanna make sure that everybody understands
Is
this.
there any way, if they do get that lease, that they can decide to do that?
Only if they ask for the surface rights. There's a difference between the surface rights and the mineral rights. If they are asking for the mineral rights, that's apparently what they're asking for.
It was
Surface.
very clearly stated from the beginning that it would only be subsurface. There's never been any suggestion whatsoever that they could put anything above ground.
Okay, that's why, that's what I'm concerned about, and I don't wanna speak for the people that live over there, please, I don't. But I think that's what these people are interested in too.
Okay, so now that Mr. Kelly's back, just so we all are clear, this is for subsurface level, nothing on the surface level. Decent.
Does that subsurface include putting a pipeline through?
No.
Negative.
Transmission
that
pipeline?
No.
Because technically that would be subsurface.
Subsurface,
A pipeline requires
speaking as a
separate
16-year gas employee, subsurface is collecting the gas that's in the Marcellus Shale that is under that zone. So each of those zones of those acreages are collected by contract with the landowner. The landowner has two pieces for every for every parcel. The surface rights and the subsurface rights. They can, subsurface rights are only for the drilled area. Surface rights are pipeline, drilling and completion operations. Totally separate, totally separate.
And that's very clear in the contract that it's subsurface.
Subsurface only.
Sir, what's your name?
Brian. Buildings on it?
Brian. Brian Heffron. Got it.
If they need to do maintenance at some point, can they dig?
They can't do anything on the surface. Period.
Well, they have to get under the surface, so there's gotta be
Not
some.
from there.
Not from, they access it from a different parcel.
Where's
Yeah,
that?
our laterals are, some of them are 7 miles.
Maybe a
So
mile
where
under
we
the
start at a surface operation, we drill first vertically and then horizontally. So that allows us to enter in other zones.
Down by Brennan's, egg farm, they have a pad down there. It would probably come. Everything would go.
I say we just never
Well, take a look at how we acquired the land. I don't think we can reach
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was asking because all I heard was just say. I haven't.
I'm not opposed to that.
You heard the.
Just keep Jim King out of it. You're gonna lease the properties over on the riverbank anyway. They're not worth it.
Okay, we need a motion.
I make a motion that we exclude Jim King
Just a
Park from
question.
the lease.
It makes no sense to me, truly, you've got a number of different parcels that you're putting into this contract. And the park is what, 1.5 acres? I see no good reason to put the park involved in that leasing agreement, none.
That's what
Did you hear what he's just saying?
Oh, sorry, I don't hear
That's all right.
so well.
It's okay.
I make a motion that we go forward with the Experian lease and we are going to exclude Jim King Park from it.
Okay, so we have a motion.
Because I agree with Mr. Carpenter, for $1,500, what are we doing here?
To exclude
You can't
Jim
prostitute
King,
yourself for
but
cash
add
that bad.
the Wildwood. So it would be 7 properties,
7 acres.
not, yeah, 7 parcels, not 8. So that's Paul's, motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
All right, thank you.
Oh, he is? All right, insurance policies. That's the Kilmer Group?
Yeah, so, obviously, obviously, the department's up now. Currently for insurance, we use GAN insurance. So, within, obviously, 5 months, we're gonna be looking and renewing contract with GAN. So, I'm not sure how long it's been with GAN before. However, now that we have our fixed assets and everything that we own in the system, and just wanted to reach out to other agencies to see about getting some quotes based on what we have and just to see what else is out there.
Yeah, that's great here.
I reached out to this company we see right here, the Kilmer Group. He agreed to meet with us. Just wanted to include you guys on the invite to pick a date that works best for you, and if anybody wants to come, also pick a date. So this gentleman, Matt Woodruff from Kilmer, can come down and talk, and just so you guys can weigh your options, see what else is out there. Attached, you see this email that he provided for all of the other towns that they serve and counties as well. It says, to summarize To summarize, we represent more than 130 municipalities across the state, including over 20 in Bradford and Susquehanna counties. So they do quite a bit in Bradford County and around us. So
You reached out to them?
he actually called me yesterday. We wanted to reach out to various other organizations.
It didn't go with them.
Yeah, just to see to weigh our options out. Because we pay between $100,000 and $200,000 in insurance premiums.
We're looking at.
It looks like he's proposing August fifth.
Yes.
That's a Thursday. Is that correct?
Wednesday.
Next Wednesday? Okay. Yeah. Great. See, I mean, just I would say send us an email, and if
If there's a time frame that works better, obviously Matt and Ron aren't here right now, so if they want to be included, we can wait till Monday, and we should reach back out to them, and wait to hear back to see if there's any oppositions on shooting a different date.
yeah, sounds great. I think that's a good idea to see what our options are to save some money for the upcoming year. Great, thanks, Mason. Cell phone upgrades.
I am almost the admin on the Verizon wireless account, almost. I don't have a line that is assigned to myself, so the whole confirmation email or confirmation codes and they call, that's a mess, but we're getting there. Bottom line is Tony's phone is not functioning.
Right.
Barry's phone has also started to not work all the time.
Okay.
So they did say at Verizon that all the lines are eligible for upgrades. It would be no cost for the new phones themselves. It would renew the contract for 2 years. And in that we could also disconnect the lines for those that are not being used anymore. Now that it used to be like you have to have 5 lines for a business plan. They said we're to the point in our contract where you can just disconnect some if you're not utilizing them.
So that would save us some money there.
Yes.
Okay. Sounds awesome.
So is that something we can move forward with?
I think that it sounds great. Anybody else?
Yeah,
Save money and get rid of phones we don't use, plus upgrade so that the people that have phones can use them.
It's been 3 years ago. We had a Verizon thing and I spent time at Verizon with the secretary to eliminate cell phones and that weren't being used, so it would be time.
How many township employees have this phone?
Tony and Barry, right?
Right now, Tony and Barry and Ed. And there's 2 other lines that were Michelle's and Cindy.
So we would need 3 lines instead of 5.
Well, there's 3 contracts set in Verizon. There's one for the parks, there's one for the police emergency line, and then there's another one that's
right. So we're talking just for
those
those 5 lines.
If we're also looking at the Verizon bill in general, if we could delete two lines, or how many there are, and then just consolidate into one, the work shop.
Alright, well, do we need to authorize you for that? Is Verizon saying you need to be authorized?
I'm already authorized, there's just no way of
getting the information.
I don't have a number that's my number. So when they call, there's nowhere to call. They call here and it doesn't go through on our phone system because it's a landline. It's like
the text.
You have to have a cell phone
yeah.
line to be able to do what you need to do. Yeah.
So once I get that part figured out where I can get someone on the phone that will understand that we need to move forward. We can't move forward because we're constantly turned in a circle with all this authorization stuff.
And we may need to make a trip to Verizon, so.
Like we did before.
Yeah, so I can work with
Okay.
Megan if there's things that we need to do.
I just want to tell them we can upgrade those lines that need to be upgraded.
I'll make a motion to allow us to do that.
Awesome.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. So get that figured out, get those two lines eliminated. Get them working phones.
See if we can consolidate.
Yes. All right, recycling center funding request. We do have a request from Cerbero. We did have to close our recycling center here. Cerbero was able to write a pretty amazing grant to be able to get a recycling center there. He's asking, Mr. Jarrett is asking for our municipality to cover between 75 cents and $1 per resident in order to contribute to that fund.
Per resident?
That's what it says. It says,
We're talking.
I respectfully
5,000
ask that
residents.
your municipality consider contributing the equivalent of approximately 75 cents to $1 per resident in your 2027 budget to help support the continued operation of this important regional resource.
Is there a reason we can't just reopen ours?
Staffing was an issue.
We pay for our garbage and recycling.
Yeah.
Brookside Drive does.
I do too, and I live right here.
So why am I paying 75 cents of my tax?
Right, what they're saying is we had the recycling center open so that residents could all bring their recycling to here, to the old recycling center. We didn't have enough staffing to be able to keep it open, so we closed it. Cerbero allows residents to bring anything to recycle at the Cerbero Recycling Center. That's an option if you would like to not pay for your recycling. He's just saying that he would like us to consider that.
For the budget.
Yeah, for next year's budget. So when we go into budget, which we're getting into budget season, that's something he would like us to consider.
Would you look at opening ours up again? Good.
I mean, we can look at it. We would have to see what that cost would be. I think that it would probably cost more for us to open it than it would for us to just pay Cerbero the $5,000 or whatever, he's asking for. Because we would have to then staff it, and the staffing cost might negate the cost for it to just be at Cerbero.
What happens to all the plastic we recycle?
I think if they get a conversation.
Cerbero does.
No, but I took all my recycling.
We used to get an offset on plastic and aluminum.
Not in Athens.
So we got an offset, but we didn't have the staff to do it. So I guess
That's my point, they're already getting compensation from NTSWA or whatever.
yes,
And now they're asking us to give them
for us
more
to pitch it.
program.
Right. I mean, thanks for the ask. Thanks for asking. The PA Association of Floodplain Managers Conference is September 22nd and 23rd in State College. That would be for Eddie to attend. I will make a motion for one attendee to attend that conference from the township. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Zoning hearing board vacancies. We do have, looks like 2 letters of interest. Oh no, just 1 letter of interest, but there is a, letter of, I don't know what this would be, if it's considered a recommendation letter. I know that, so it looks as though Rosemary spoke with Robin and, asked for that to be placed on the agenda, and Rosemary's letter of interest in, participating in the zoning hearing board, which we were looking for last meeting. So I would make a motion to accept, Rosemary's letter of interest and appoint Rosemary